Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and it's here. Captain Marvel opening weekend is here. Which leads me to address the question, to boycott or not. And I have a lot of feelings about this that have been developing over the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to share them with you because when I have fifis, I gotta talk about my fifis. So, here's the thing, right? Boycotting is a political statement. Pretty much always. It's what it's for. It's there to make a political statement. It's there to say that we are unhappy with something that is happening and we are demanding change in relation to it. And so here's where I'm struggling, right? So we have something like we have the boycott for episode 9, we have the boycott for Solo, and that feels different than this. And here's why. When we're doing the Star Wars boycotts, right, this is something that, first, Star Wars as a franchise has a long and deep history that's connected to very, very many of us, and they demonstrated over the course of 2 different movies, in my opinion, for some of you just one, that they don't respect that franchise, that the direction it's going, that there are new people, first of all, at the helm of this franchise who don't respect the direction of it, and who are doing things like injecting politics that we don't want into our movies. And when we try to say something about it, multiple different employees of Lucasfilm have come out to smack back and to try to and to call us names and do shitty things like that. So that makes sense to me, right? You want to attack us, we are going to fight you back in the best way that we can with our dollars. Solo was a disaster. If episode 9, and that's already caused Lucasfilm to reassess a lot of their direction. If episode 9 is the same result, you can be damn sure they're going to realize that there are certain fans that they maybe need to start waking up and listening to. So here's the thing with Captain Marvel. If this boycott successfully tanks Captain Marvel's opening weekend, and that movie does shit, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I talked about this on Geeks and Gamers a week or so ago. The reason that Brie Larson just had a free reign to say whatever she wants is that it doesn't matter. It actually does not matter for Marvel if Captain Marvel succeeds or fails. It has no impact. It has no bearing on the overall franchise if it does well or if it doesn't. And it really is not necessarily going to give the feedback that Marvel needs to hear from us, right? It's not necessarily going to make a specific commentary on Captain Marvel as a character, on Brie Larson's words, on anything like that. All it's going to say is that we're not interested in this origin film. And it can be interpreted as many, many different ways. We're not interested in this origin film. And if we all, shell out that money and go see Endgame, then it means even less than nothing. Because great, this is the whole point. Marvel doesn't need Captain Marvel to succeed or be a box office hit. In fact, Captain Marvel could be a failure and lose them money, and it does not matter because they're going to make all of that back and more on Endgame. And here's the thing, right? Brie Larson, she's got her paycheck. All these execs, they have their paychecks. Sure, bad critical reviews and possibly box office mishaps could affect the futures of some of the creatives, but in the case of a lot of these are steady Marvel employees that the people in charge of brainstorming these projects are not, they're not being affected by a Captain Marvel box office disaster. They're just not. They're not being financially affected. They're not going to feel it. So it's not really going to mean that much. The people who are going to get hurt are a lot of the smaller people who worked on the film, which when you pirate a film, which too, I don't necessarily, it's really difficult for me, even in certain films where I'm like, I don't want to make money, it's really difficult for me to advocate for piracy. I'm on the fence about it in a lot of ways, because on the one hand, it does damage to certain parts of the film industry that are just basically collateral damage, more so than it hurts a lot of the higher ups in many ways. So there's that part where I end up on the fence about that thing. But the thing is, additionally with the boycott, so we're not actually going to be able to successfully accomplish the thing we want to accomplish with this movie, because it does not matter to Marvel if this movie succeeds or fails. If you want to make a comment, you boycott Endgame. I'm not necessarily advocating for that either, but if you want to make the kind of commentary that you're trying to make with the Captain Marvel boycott, you have to boycott Endgame. That is the only way. If you can successfully cause a dip in that opening weekend for that film with the boycott, that will send a different message. That will send a much more powerful message that people will actually listen to. But tanking Captain Marvel is not actually going to do anything. All right? So there's that. That's one thing. The other thing about this, right? And sorry, that's just the reality. I'm not sorry, because I don't fucking care if you agree or not, but that's just the reality. You can dislike it, you can be mad about it, and I'm not saying go see it. Obviously, you have a choice as to what movies you want to see, and if you're turned off by the idea of Brie Larson or you don't think it's going to be a very good movie, don't spend your money on it. And the people who are like, I'm going to go see Alita instead, that's fine, right? You have that choice as a consumer to put your money wherever you want. I'm not saying go see Captain Marvel, don't boycott it, but when you do, make this a boycott. When you're actively calling to boycott and you're organizing this as a political statement, I'm not sure that we're doing anything better than the thing that we're angry about. All right, like I said, in Lucasfilm, it's very clear that we were under attack as the fans. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that pushback from Marvel the same. I'm not seeing Kevin Feige take to the internet and be like, everyone who hates Captain Marvel is sexist. And like, Brie Larson does not speak for Marvel. She can be cut loose at any time in spite of her contract. She does not speak for Marvel. She doesn't represent Marvel. So I'm not sure that by us boycotting, we're doing anything other than just politicizing this movie. Our whole stance, as I understand it, is keep your damn identity politics out of my film. That's my stance. That's my perspective. I just don't want to see your socio-political agendas on my screen when I'm trying to enjoy a superhero film that takes me out of reality for a minute. That's all I want. So for me to take up the cause of a boycott when I don't necessarily have the conclusive evidence that this is the direction the MCU is going, even if this movie is problematic and has problematic feminism in it, that doesn't necessarily mean this is the direction the MCU is taking. This could be their one-off, right? The same way they got a little woke with Black Panther, they might just be doing that with Captain Marvel to be like, all right, here's that, because again, they don't need this movie to succeed. They get virtue points by doing it, and if it fails, oh well, they move on and they don't do it again. So I don't think that Marvel is doing the same thing to its franchise and its fans that Lucasfilm is. I could be wrong, and if there's evidence that I am wrong, boycott away. But we don't have that evidence yet, so jumping on the boycott train without that proof, all that's doing is politicizing this film even more, which is the thing that we don't want. So that's like, go see Alita, stay home, make it known that that's what you did. That's fine. I honestly think you will have more of an impact by seeing the film and leaving a critical review of it. Leaving a thought out, as objective as possible critical review of the film, I think will have a greater impact than just boycotting. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. And again, if this movie does the bad stuff, first of all, if you really think that the MCU is headed in a dangerous direction, boycott Endgame. That's their big piece. That's their big showpiece. That's what you have to do. And otherwise, go see your Captain Marvel or don't, but it doesn't have to be. Us making it more political isn't doing ourselves any favors. It's not helping our cause, in my opinion, at all. And those are my thoughts. You can agree, you can disagree. It's the beauty of the world. You can do whatever the F you want, all right? So happy Thursday, and that's all. Goodbye. Not goodbye, wait, my end spiel. If you like this movie, press the like button, because I believe in oppression of this channel. If you're interested in Mindless Entertainment, all right, like, share, comment, all of those things help this video more than you know. Click that video popping up in the corner. Get involved with me. That will give you Patreon, that will give you Teespring, that will give you social media, business links, all that stuff if you want to help support this channel and see it grow. And now, goodbye for real.